Alright, and welcome to Tabletop Arcanum. My name is Justin, and we're going to do an unboxing of this little gem. This is the Arkham Horror Return to Forgotten Age expansion, storage box slash redo of the campaign. So let's take a look at this, and crack it open. So nothing really fancy or special so far. It's just a box. Get that shrink wrap off it. Granted, this is going to not only new cards are going to be in here, but there's also going to be the fact that you can store your Forgotten Age campaign cards right in here. So be prepared. These boxes are full of air. So insert, mostly air. There's the good stuff, though. So, in 2-page insert. Normally they're 1 pages. So, actually, 2. We've got blanket statement of spoilers here. I'm going to be going through the player cards. I will not be going through the scenarios themselves. But I will talk about it a little bit. So, if you actually have not played Forgotten Age at all, you might want to close your ears on this one. Right, so how to use this expansion is part of Return to X. So Return to X, you want to make sure you have your Forgotten Age campaign guide. Start with that and move on through here. We are getting new encounter sets called Return to the Untamed Wilds, Return to Threads of Fate, Return to Heart of the Elders, Return to the Doom of Islati, Return to the Boundary Beyond, and Return to the Pillars of Judgment, Return to the City of Archives, Return to Shattered Aeons, Return to the Depths of Yoth, and Return to Turn Back Time. Say that a few times fast, right? Now there's a new encounter set, Return to the Rainforest, is also going to be included in here. There is a couple other brand new encounter sets. So Dark Cult will be replaced by the Cult of Pentakis. Expedition will be replaced with Doomed Expedition. Temporal Flux will be replaced with Temporal Hunters, and Yig's Venom will be replaced with Venomous Hate. And of course, just like all the other Return to boxes, they do have a variant where you can do your randomized encounter sets, where you essentially take Yig's Venom and Venomous Hate together, shuffle them together, and if there's 5 cards in each set, you randomly take 5 out of that set. So you're not exactly sure what mix you're going to get. I call that super crazy hard mode for the Return to. So if you played the campaign a bunch and already have it down pat and familiar, and you do the Return to a few times, get that down, you're like, okay, now I want to mix it up yet again. That's when I feel you start shuffling those things together. There's additional explore rules, so observe the following additional rules when the Return to Forgotten Age abilities in Return to. If an enemy is drawn from the exploration deck, it is resolved as normal and is discarded in place of an encountered discard pile than you would normally. And this is considered an unsuccessful exploration. And then there's some scenarios that will have added changes to the explore rules. They are noted in the setup card for those particular scenarios. There's an additional intro for Threads of Fate. There's another resolution for Heart of the Elders, and there is an additional Depths of Yoth, scenario resolution step that it applies to all. Lastly, the achievement list, which is 2 on this side and then the rest on the back. I'm not going to read the details, but let's talk about the names because that's always a fun little teaser. So our achievement includes: why did it have to be snakes? Watch them unravel. Hope for humanity. Scenario 5, what? Beyond perfection. I remember everything. Patricide. He's got a point. Velusa sounds great. I've built up an immunity. We have an understanding. Who needs any of this junk? Don't tread on me. Bane of Yig. If I could turn back time. And the Yoth experience. So that's our rules insert. So in the box we have our pack of player cards with some scenario cards in there, and then more of the scenario cards. Your pile of sleeves or dividers. So if you actually have a nice fit in there, and that's going to be for every single encounter set needed for Return to Forgotten Age. So if you're insane like me and have multiple cores, you can then keep those specific core encounter sets in this box with your other cards. So let's crack open some of these player cards. All right. All right, we're going to stop here. This is where I'm not going to show any of that, because that is the scenario stuff. But this spread right here, let's take a closer look at those. All right, so first up we have always our Guardian cards. Two of Blood Eclipse. One cost event, level 1 Guardian card has the will and strength icons on it. It is a spell spirit, and as an additional cost to play Blood Eclipse, take 2 damage. Fight. This uses will instead of strength, and you get +2 will, and this will deal 2 extra damage for the attack. Really high cost, honestly. Well, not actual cost, but like taking damage and using your will. So, Survival Knife, the second Guardian card in the set. Level 2, 2 cost, double strength icons on there. It is an item, weapon, melee. As an action, you trigger a fight and you get +2 strength for this attack. As a reaction, when the enemy attacks you during when the enemy attacks you during the enemy phase, before resolving the attack, exhaust Survival Knife, and then you can fight. And then you'll get +2 to your strength and deal +1 damage for that attack. So that is a reaction. And it takes up a hand slot. So that's a nice little upgrade to the Survival Knife. Next up, we got some secret cards. First on the deck is Truth from Fiction, Insight, 1 cost event, level 2 card, has 3 intellect icons on it. Always good for some investigation boosting. Place 2 secrets among assets controlled by the investigators at your location. 3 if there's a clue on your location. So this will help get some of those secret powered or secret use cards powered up again. Next we have a super powered version of Ancient Stone. Level 4 asset, 2 agility. And takes a hand to use this Ancient Stone. Transient Thoughts. You can only include this if you have in your deck by upgrading from Ancient Stone unidentified, and only if you've, quote, identified the stone in your campaign log. It has uses X secrets, where X is the number of parentheses next to you've identified the stone. So if you identify the stone multiple times, you can power this up. As a reaction, when you draw any number of cards, spend that many secrets, and move that many times. So drawing cards, and it causes you to move. That's interesting. Hopefully you're not engaged with an enemy during those moves. Alright, first rogue card is the Decorated Skull. This is a 3 cost event. I'm sorry, level 3 zero cost asset has the will and strengths icons. Doom's Begin Doom is a item, relic, and cursed. Has uses 0 charges, and then as a reaction, after an investigator, ally, asset, or enemy at your location is defeated, place a resource from the token bank on the skull as a charge. Spend up to 3 charges as an action and draw that many cards and gain that many resources. So as things get killed, I guess you trap their souls in this little skull, and you spend them for resources later. Not bad. Holds up your relic slot there. Next is an upgraded version of the Colt Vest Pocket. 2 cost item, level 2 asset, and it is a strength and agility icon. It has an item, weapon, firearm, and illicit keywords attached to it. Uses 5 ammo. And then finally, action, spend ammo, triggers a fight, and you get +2 strength for this attack and deals +1 damage. Forced at the end of the round, you may trigger. If you triggered its action ability, discard it. So you have 5 shots in a round, but that's the only round you're going to have with it. Now, of course, rogues being rogues, they've got some tricks up their sleeves that can work around some of those restrictions there, because that's what they do. First up, we have our first Mystic, Miss of Relay, level 2 Mystic card. It is an asset that costs 2 to play, has 1 agility on it, uses 5 charges. It is a spell, and you action and spend a charge. Triggers an evade. This evasion uses your willpower or will instead of your agility, and you get +1 will for this evasion attempt. If you succeed after evading the chosen enemy, you may move to a connected location. Now, if you have a skull, cultist, tablet, elder sign, or elder thing, or auto fail symbols revealed during the evasion attempt, you may you choose and discard a card from your hand. So a lot of those spells always have that kind of kicker. If you pull one of those icons, usually something bad happens. All right, the Chethonian Stone. This is the level 3 version of it. 2 cost asset, has willpower and lore. Provides a seal, which is skull. You can seal a skull, cultist, tablet, or elder sign. Has 3 charges. If it has no charges, return to your hand. Forced, after you reveal the auto-fail symbol during a skill test, remove a charge from it. So it protects from, protects you specifically from 3 auto-fails, which, depending on your game, I could say is overkill or underkill, because I feel like you either pull it all the time or you hardly see it, and you question if it's actually still in the bag. Alright, we're on to our final class. We have Survivors. Alter Fate. This is a level 1 3 cost event. Willpower and agility icons, and this is a spell, Blessed. Choose and discard from play a non-weakness treachery if it is not attached to an elite enemy. Choose and discard from play a non-weakness treachery that is not attached to an elite enemy. So those little abilities that power up bad guys, you can get rid of some of those as long as it's not elite. Now this is a one-of because it is a exceptional permanent card on your own. So this is a level 3 survivor card. Assets. Exceptional and permanent, and your investigator gains the deck building restrictions. No assets take up the ally slot. Wow. And then as a reaction, when you play a Seeker or Survivor event, exhaust on your own to reduce its cost by 2. That just changes up your idea of deck building, but you kind of have to think about it going in, because there's some like really nice Survivor allies that I may not want to give up. Now, that doesn't necessarily stop you from getting things like Lead a Chanter, who is not part of your deck building, and getting story asset allies, but still. Alright, backpack. Get an upgraded version of the backpack. Level 2 backpack, neutral card, 1 cost, strength, and agility icons. Has a reaction. After it enters play, search the top 12 cards from your deck for up to 3 non-weakness item or supply cards. Attach them face down to the backpack, shuffle your deck. The cards attached to the backpack may be played as if they were in your hand, and if there are no cards attached to the backpack, discard it. So yeah, it's a deeper dive into your deck. 12 cards is about a third of most decks, so that's actually pretty good. Dendrodomorphosis. This actually, I've had in my collection a while because I was at Arkham Knights 2018, but now we have the official version of it out. So this is a basic weakness asset. Revelation is both Curse and Flora. Revelation, put Dendrodomorphosis into play in your threat area if it cannot leave play while it has no damage on it. As a fast, you can take 1 direct damage and deal 1 damage to it. So, you're going to have to take that damage at some point. Alright. Last, another basic weakness. This is one of those tiered weaknesses. We've seen these before, and I love them personally. So this is an offer you cannot refuse. Basic weakness, pack campaign mode only, because otherwise it doesn't actually do anything. When you become the bearer of this weakness, gain 2 experience. Hooray! 5 of your Father Mateo then. So 7 experience to start with Father Mateo. That's not bad. Revelation, lose 5 resources. If you cannot instead remove offer you cannot refuse from your deck, search your collection for fine print and place it in your discard pile. Speaking of fine print, here it is. Alright, so fine print here is lose 7 resources if you cannot instead remove 5 print from your deck and from the collection, and sell your soul and place it in your discard pile. And now sell your soul. So you sell your soul is the last of this 3-tier weakness. And yeah, so sell your soul, lose 10 resources. If you cannot, the Dark Patron tears your consciousness from your body, you are driven insane. One way or another, the debt shall be repaid. That's a fun one. If you have a get-rich character, that could be a lot of fun. Like a Jenny Barnes or Preston, where you're just swimming in resources the entire time. That could be a lot of fun, but otherwise, don't get hit with it. That's going to suck. As always, and that's all I'm going to actually show off on here. The other cards, they're all the return to scenario stuff, so I'll let you figure out if you can look these up online at specific sites, and they'll have spoiler tags on them. I don't want to spoil anything accidentally for anybody, so those will stay for your surprise when you get your Return to the Forgotten Age. So thank you for watching. I've been Justin. This has been Tabletop Arcanum. We are on Twitch doing live streams like this, which will be later on YouTube. And then finally, you can find us on social media like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Tabletop Arcanum. So happy gaming.